I'm sorry, Anderson.
I asked you to grab it.
No, I left and I didn't see your stuff on the table. So
You probably grabbed it. His time.
No, what's 2 days after my birthday? It's a door you're doing. 2 days after my birthday. Monday after one. But I'm so door you're doing. Yeah, exactly. All I want. Yeah, we can make a truce. Here, you want to kiss my hand? Kiss my hand. I'm a
That's right. Please report your identity to secure hallway. Right, it's time. All the My name is Ryan Richter. Today I'll be the ceremony. Today's assembly is made possible thanks to the efforts by Delta Historians Club and their staff sponsor, Jim Chris. In addition to being the Historians Club staff sponsor, Mr. Chris is a social studies teacher here at Delta and a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. Today we are gathered to celebrate the service and sacrifice of veterans to say thank you for all you've done. We would like to begin with our national anthem, performed by the Delano Junior Senior High School Band, led by Elizabeth Carter. Please remove your hats, and if possible, stand and face the flag. Next, we will hear from the president of the Historians Club, Sandy Dodd.
Good afternoon, veterans. The students and staff here at Delano Junior Senior High School would like to say thank you for choosing to spend your time here with us. We can never truly understand the risks and sacrifices you made for our country as veterans. You all chose to serve your country, and there is no way that we can thank you enough for all you have done. Veterans Day is a day in which we honor all who have served and continue to serve in the branches of the United States military. This day is rooted in resolution, but more importantly, celebration. World War I was fought by numerous countries over the course of 5 years. In 1918, at 11 a.m. on November 11th, the countries came together with the signing of an armistice, ending the World War. Globally, regardless of nationality, people celebrated the end of the war to end all wars. 1 year after the signing of this armistice, President Woodrow Wilson made November 11th an official holiday. This was recognized as Armistice Day, and the holiday's name was later changed to Veterans Day. Today, Veterans Day is a day to honor all those served, regardless of the decade or the conflict. The men and women that we are honoring today were just ordinary people, just like you and I, but once they heard the call, they left everything behind and put their lives on the line to fight for us. They left the comfort of their hometowns for months or years at a time. They missed birthdays, Christmases, and anniversaries. Some served only a few years, while others made a career out of serving. Regardless of the amount of time in service, all those who serve are forever changed by their experiences. After their service, veterans go on to be doctors, teachers, police officers, politicians, among dozens of other professions. Even after they take off the uniform, veterans still continue to serve the nation through small everyday actions. Veterans teach us about honor, duty, and respect. They are leaders in their communities, and most importantly, veterans inspire us to be selfless. Since the conclusion of World War I and the creation of Armistice Day, now called Veterans Day, the United States has fought in many conflicts across the globe. In the past decade alone, more than 5 million Americans have worn an armed service uniform. We would not be anywhere near where we are in the world today without their incredible sacrifices. Even though we are all here today to celebrate Veterans Day means different things to different people. Many of the students and staff here today have mothers, brothers, fathers, and sisters who have served our country. Veterans Day is special to them because they have a personal connection to someone who served. As a student, I have always viewed Veterans Day as a day to show respect to the brave men and women who choose to serve their country. For veterans, you may spend the day reflecting on your time in the service, remembering those friends you made along the way, attending parades and celebrations, or spending time teaching the next generation the importance of this day. Still, there are some of us here today who aren't fortunate enough to know a veteran. If this describes you, today is still a special day, and oddly enough, this might give you the closest connection to Veterans Day. For today, you have the opportunity to celebrate strangers. Strangers who were willing to stand up and protect you without even knowing your name. Strangers who were willing to sacrifice for someone they've never met. Strangers who lead by example and through their courageous acts show us the very best that humanity has to offer. So whether you personally know a veteran or not, now is the time to honor veterans past and present. From the American Revolution to the War on Terror, from Bunker Hill to Fallujah, from those who rigged sails and loaded muskets to those who drive tanks and fire laser-guided weapons, for those who fought against the tyranny of King George to those who fought to spread democracy to nations around the world. While battlefields and technology changes, the courage and commitment of those who have served is infallible. If you are currently serving or have ever served, today and every day, thank you for your service.
Thank you, Sam. Mr. Chris will now introduce our honored guest speaker.
All right, Dave is a Marine, fellow Marine, Navy Marine, and a great pleasure to introduce you today. I want to personally thank you for choosing to spend today with us. So our honored speaker today is Mr. Dave Ellis. Dave Ellis was born in 1981 in Muncie, Indiana. He graduated from Daleville High School in 1999. Upon graduation from high school, he entered the United States Marine Corps. He completed boot camp in San Diego, California, and was meritoriously promoted to private first class. In the fall of 1999, he completed infantry school at Camp Pendleton, California, and then security forces school in Chesapeake, Virginia. In January 2000, he was meritoriously promoted to the rank of Lance Corporal. His first duty station was Kings Bay Naval Subbase in Georgia. He was assigned to guard Platoon 3, which was responsible for protecting the base's restricted property. After a couple months, he completed tryouts and training for the Marine Close Quarter Battle Teams aboard the base. These are 10-man teams, and they were tasked with protection of submarines on base and clearing of any buildings if the threat arose. While stationed at Kings Bay, he was promoted to the rank of corporal in October 2000, and then to sergeant in December of 2000. In February of 2002, Sergeant Ellis reported back to the infantry to 2nd Battalion, 2nd Marines, located at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Once there, Sergeant Ellis completed selection and training for the Battalion Scout Sniper Platoon. In August of 2002, Sergeant Ellis was deployed with the 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit to Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. While on deployment, Sergeant Ellis participated in 3 operations: Operation Dynamic Response in the countries of Kosovo and Albania, Operation Enduring Freedom in the Horn of Africa, and Operation Iraqi Freedom. During Operation Iraqi Freedom, Sergeant Ellis and his 4-man sniper team, call sign Mystic 2, conducted surveillance and target acquisition missions for the battalion, often alone. Sergeant Ellis returned from Iraq in December 2003 after his battalion's combat missions were completed. David Ellis has worked for the state of Indiana for the past 18 years and coaches varsity track and junior and high cross country here at Daleville. He currently resides in Daleville with his wife Katie and their 4 children. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Dave Ellis.
Daleville will always be my home, and I appreciate the honor of being asked to speak at this program. Thank you to my fellow Marine, Mr. Chris, for organizing this program and my introduction. Daleville always puts an amazing program honoring veterans. As veterans, we never expect that things will ever turn down when it comes. We appreciate it. Miracles happen every day. My Marines in attendance will appreciate this. After 20 years, I woke up this morning and my dress blew who's still fit. That being said, I'll try to keep my speech brief because my upper body is screaming underneath, and everybody down here is downrange currently from these buttons popping. These Veterans Day programs here at Galva are one of the main reasons I joined the military. Seeing these amazing men and women like the ones sitting before me opened my eyes. Hearing their stories of their love of country and willingness to make sacrifices changed my outlook, and I decided it was my turn to serve my country. If any of you were sitting here in 1998, 99, I thank you because you were the reason that I joined the military. I've spoken a few times here at this program. This year I thought I would have a theme. For this year's speech, the theme or key words are love and sacrifice. My hope is that when I'm finished today, that makes sense. The United States has great branches of the military. It was a hard choice for me to take. In the end, the Marines were just the right fit for me. I often say I learned everything I needed to know about life in the military, and that is very true. I learned valuable things like honor, courage, and commitment. I learned to always give my very best and then give more. I learned to serve something bigger than myself and to always be honorable. My favorite part is I met friends for life, men and women from all over the country with different backgrounds. Those friendships I continue to this day. A story from Iraq comes to mind when I think of how committed I was to those friends with love and sacrifice. As a young adult, just getting started in life, being placed in the fort, you grow up real fast. I figured I would tell a story that explains this. When my 4-man sniper team was in Iraq, we were on the bank of a river. That river, I can't remember the name of it. But my team was assigned to provide watch on this target. In the early hours of the morning, it was like 02, 0300, it's complete darkness. And we're sitting in what little concealment that Iraq offered as far as vegetation along this river. And at that stage of the war, POWs, this is early on, this is like April 2003, the war kicked off in March. At that time, POWs weren't treated the best, and their experiences were pretty bad. So, when you become a team and you come into the platoon, and these teammates are family. And as we're sitting there, I remember before the mission, we had asked if we get compromised because we're alone, how long is backup away? And then my platoon commander said it's going to take at least 4 hours to get to you. So you can imagine the 4 of us in a city, even though we're under cover of darkness, if we get compromised, we're on our own for at least 4 hours, 3 hours maybe minimum. So we made a pact right there. Here we are as young men, just getting started. And if one of us was to go down, we were all going down. We were committed to make that ultimate sacrifice for each other because we immediately become family for it's a brotherhood. A little bit about my story. Ernest Hemingway has a quote that directly relates to my life and how I continue service beyond the military. There's no hunting like the hunting of man. And those that have hunted one men long enough and liked it, never cared for anything else thereafter. With love and sacrifice comes my life story. I feel this lifestyle was my calling. It turned out I was meant for it. I think everybody questions why they joined the military at some point during boot camp because it's a complete culture shock. You're like, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into? But I remember the day that I realized that I made the right choice. We're on the rifle range in Cape Pendleton, moving back from the 300-yard line to the 500-yard line. In the Marine Corps, to qualify to become a Marine, you have to finish at the 500-yard line for qualification for your rifle. I remember sitting down, making my loop swing across my bicep to where it was so tight it was cutting off my circulation, and I snapped into my shooting position. I look at the wind. We had range flags that are showing how far the wind is. I'm like, okay, that's a full volume wind right to left. I made my adjustments on my rifle, and every time I took a shot, the target would go down, it would come back up, bullseye. It would go down, come back up, bullseye. And I went 10 for 10 at the 500-yard line. I was like, okay, I made the right decision. I'm not good at a lot of things. I can't help you fix your car. I can't help you solve problems on your computer. My kids often ask their mom for help with schoolwork. But if you needed a shield between you and harm's way, someone to go to war for you, I'm your guy. I will gladly step into that role. This is for the love of country and sacrifice I'm willing to make. The way I see it, if I go, someone up here doesn't have to. I'm serving something bigger than myself and for the sake of others. Commitment doesn't stop when you leave the military. For example, if something that, like what's happening in Ukraine, happened here, I know my fellow veterans that are sitting before me will be dusting off their rifles and passing out in them when ready to go to work. The lifestyle comes at a huge cost. I can promise you, when someone leaves the battlefield, the war does not stop for them. I can remember things like they were yesterday. However, the good memories far outweigh the bad. I wouldn't change a single thing because it's made me who I am today. If you guys have heard me speak here at Delta before, you've heard me brag about my best friend, Eddie Heredia. And I promise myself, anytime that I speak here, I'll tell that story. So my best friend from the Marine Corps, his name is Eddie Heredia. He was born in Houston, Texas. His family were born in Mexico. They come to Texas and gained their United States citizenship. And recognizing that and how well this country has provided for him and his family, decided to join the United States Marine Corps. Our paths crossed in history school. I think it was on a hill that I can't say the name publicly, but we're going up the hill, and I remember Eddie fell down. I picked him up, and I was like, "Hey, bro, you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm good, thanks. My name's Eddie." And he's like, "Hey, my name's Dave." And from then, like, we became great buddies. And our paths continued on in security forces school, and we ended up getting stationed together in Georgia. So naturally, when you go through all those things, you become best friends, and we hung out all the time. We were basically inseparable. So my duty station up in Georgia came to an end, and Eddie stayed there. I went back to the infantry, and then Eddie did something that really shocked me. I mean, here's a kid, when we checked into the unit, he couldn't even remember his name. The captain asked what our age was, and he forgot his name and started stuttering. And of course, me being the great friend that I am, I'm making fun of him next to him. So we're ended up doing push-ups together. We had a crash. But he continued on, and here's a guy that was mediocre at best at physical fitness. In fact, anybody that knows me love to run. I was his team leader. We ended up doing a lot of running. And one day he was like, "Oh, let me guess, Dave, we're going to go out on a run." I was like, "No, we're going to go swim at the base pool." He said, "Oh, fine." I was like, "Yeah, we're going to run 3 miles to the base pool. We're going to swim and then run 3 miles back." And to this day, that's where I learned all my profanity in Spanish, because he said everything to me under the sun. But we continued to be best friends, and like I said, I transferred out of Georgia, and he stayed in Georgia for another year, and then he ended up joining reconnaissance. And then for reconnaissance, he ended up becoming a Marine Raider. And if anybody who doesn't know what a Marine Raider is, it's the Marine Corps equivalent. Special Forces is side next to the Navy SEALs and Army Green Berets. I was super proud of Eddie for doing that, because I honestly never thought he had it in him. He continued to shock me. And he continued to flourish and do several deployments, and we would stay in touch. In fact, he called me and faked that he was like a sergeant major. He called me back into the Marine Corps. And of course, I could tell his accent. I was like, "Yeah, Eddie, nice try." So I love those conversations. I cherish them to this day. A buddy of mine named Mike, myself, and Eddie were very close. And one day in the summer in 2007, I got a call from Mike. And he said, "Hey, man, you sit down." And he goes, "Eddie's been killed in Afghanistan." And I've done a lot of recreational fighting, and it's still to this day, that's the biggest kick to the chest I've ever taken. So, what happens when a best friend gets killed in combat? When you lose a best friend in combat, it changes your world. I would trade every medal and rip it on my chest just for 5 more minutes with my best friend. I took Eddie's death and turned a devastating negative event into a positive one. Eddie was denied privileges most people take for granted, such as growing old, meeting his wife, and having children. I decided to live my life to the fullest, earn every minute, cherish every success and struggle, and to love as much as possible. I try to make you proud every day. His dog tags tattooed on the inside of my left bicep are a constant reminder to earn every day. I miss my friend dearly, but I know from his love and sacrifice that his memory will always remain on for me. I will close with this. Being a United States Marine has been the best honor of my life. It has allowed me to serve the things that I love most. Those things are my country, my fellow Americans like you, and this beautiful American flag. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Hawes. Now, we will hear the salute to armed forces to begin the recognition of our veterans. Veterans, if possible, please stand for the brandishing of response flags. However, do not feel obligated to remain standing for the duration. Thank you, Madonna Junior Senior High School band, for that beautiful rendition of the salute to the armed forces. Historians Club member and junior class president Luke Carmen will now speak on the significance of TABS.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you may have heard, my name is Luke Carmen, and I am a member of Delaware Junior Senior High School's Historians and Civics Club. I am here to speak with you about the significance of TABS. Today, TABS is used to symbolize the remembrance of a lost veteran at a funeral, memorial, or wreath-laying ceremony. TABS is also used as a lights out call on non-deployed military bases in the U.S. The elegance of this bugle call perfectly represents the importance of the events displayed on. Although many know TABS is sounded at military funerals, not many know of its origin. The history of TABS can be traced to a person that resembles the same amount of honor, respect, and attention that is called upon those that hear its sound. Historians have traced TABS back to the Medal of Honor recipient, General Daniel Adams Butterfield, who served in the Union Army during the American Civil War. TABS was created by General Butterfield to be used in replacement of the lights out call he heard in his nights of service. After its creation, TABS has grown to mean something different in the nation, for those who have served and civilians alike. To our military and country, TABS symbolizes the end of something. It is a symbol of the end of the life, the end of the day. Just as the sunset is a chance to look back on the beauty of the day, TABS is a time of reflection on the courageous service veterans have given our nation. And just as the sunset marks the new day, it reminds us there is a new day ahead. In a similar way, TABS marks the end of the value of life, yet reminds us of the appreciation of those out there serving for us. It's extraordinary how a melody so simplistic can have such an immeasurable meaning for veterans. As a single performer plays its 24 notes, TABS echoes through time to unite all veterans, past and present, in a solemn moment of reflection. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Before performing TABS and right and salute, representatives of the American Legion will introduce those performing for us today.
Hi, my name's Gary. I'm the leader of the DFL Regulation Honor Guard. I want to give recognition. I want to give recognition to members of the Honor Guard through the heat of summer and cold winter, rather than doing military honors for fallen veterans. Now, I'll begin with Dennis Halter. He's a SAO member. Michael Evans. Winfield. Basketball, Lincoln Collier. Our member, David Collier Senior, as well as Hasley MC. So his honor. His member. He's instrumental in bringing ours our role to Belleville. Folks stand by. And we have you can see Chris Campbell. We have the Belleville Recreation and the Honor Guard, which was checked for Belleville Soccer Club and $500.
So where you go like this? Or like this? Salute.
No one goes like this.
Come on, come on. You have a feet. Stop, stop. I have
No!
Hey, come here. Come sit here. Can I sit there? You? Please. No, you. Right here. Right now. Oh, your fault.
Wait, what about? No, but for now, they shoot the gun and you don't so over here. I missed. Oh my God! What did I shoot at, Bertie?
Can you please be quiet? You come here. What? Okay. Do as quiet as you can get.
Eric Douglas, the principal here at Delaware Junior High School. First, I'd like to thank Mr. Christian and Storms Club for putting on the program. Sergeant Ellison, our guest speaker. Biggest thanks goes out to you veterans. The sacrifices for that you made in the country. Provides us with the freedom that we have every day. In the school year, thank you for everything that you do and done for us. I think we can thank you for that. That concludes our assembly today. We have refreshments, stuff, and veterans and their families out in the cafeteria. You guys can go ahead and head on down that way. Students, we're going to stay put so we can all of our veterans out of the chamber. Let's give them one more round of applause.